Welcome to this replay here on the T-54 Lightweight. The T-54 Lightweight is being played for us by Sundance from RGT. He actually sent me this replay on the forums, and I believe it's the first one he actually sent in total on my channel. I can't remember. But he's here on Fiery Salient and in the T-54 Lightweight in quite a nice matchup, as we can see. Tier 9 maximum, and he's actually top tier. So there's a lot you can do in the T-54 Lightweight in matchmaking like this. At the start he's going to this classical light tank spotting location, but the problem is that the T-49 has a really good view range, as it turns out, and actually it might actually have been that little bulldog as well. That is actually a really good location to be in, and I really don't know why Wargaming isn't making these tank racks movable. I hope that with the HD map updates like that, tanks that are part of the scenery like that will actually be even slightly movable, so you don't just run into a brick wall where the tank can just stop, basically, because that's quite annoying. But yeah, he's trying to go back to the spotting location again, but as we can see on the minimap, the T-49 and the 1375 are coming in again, so I wouldn't necessarily have tried this now, and here's the reason why. Unfortunately he got spotted and takes quite a lot of damage from various sides, KV4, AMX 1375 and a Comet as well. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that it's not really good to try and be in that location again. Now this match in general is a bit of a slow boil. It takes a while to get going, but once it gets going it's actually really nice to watch. One of the things though that I really found a bit weird is that Sundance uses a lot of auto aim, and with this shot for instance it works, but on moving targets like that you really don't want to be using auto aim. It's really not suitable for this kind of stuff unless you're actually circling an enemy. Then it works, but if both tanks are moving, the auto aim just basically aims center mass and doesn't lead at all. So yeah, using auto aim is not the best choice for these kind of engagements. But yeah, it's not necessarily now, but later on when they're moving along the ridge all the time, basically. So Sundance here is just basically keeping stuff spotted while trying to do a little bit of damage himself as well. Not much has happened. The IS is camping on the railroad and shooting HE. So that's a very, very good player right there. He managed to get about 20 meters out of the cap and then stopped. So yeah, GG. Sundance moving to the other side of the map, trying to spot people, keeping tanks lit basically. His team is pushing on the road, but it doesn't seem to be going too well actually at the moment. It's a bit of a tricky situation. You need to take the lower side of the road. You can't actually move around on the road because people from every direction can shoot you. IS still parked on the railroad shooting HE. So yeah, really effective right there. I mean, you can say it's a tier 7 tank in a tier 9 badge, but it can do a lot more than just sit there and try to snipe with the Russian derp gun. I mean, I know Russian derp guns are retardedly accurate sometimes, but that's not the best use. And yeah, shots like that where he auto aims on that light tank and the shot just goes way behind. If you manually aim those shots, you have a way higher chance of actually hitting. And I know you're focusing on the actual driving here, probably, but still, I mean, once you're up there, you might as well just try and take proper aim. That actually was I think a manually aimed shot and it went next to it, but at least it was way closer than the auto aim. Enemy team is capping. We can see it's actually the IS that's capping. But Sundance is not taking the bait at the moment. Runs into another indestructible rack. Luckily Bulldog can't shoot for shit and bounces twice off the engine deck of the T-54 Lightweight. And Sundance just keeps moving. At the moment it's 3 scouts versus 1 pretty much, so you do not want to push in yet. Those odds need to be evened up a little bit more before you can do that. Yeah, KV3 luckily got taken out now. still the Bulldog is again up in the F1 area, I think. Sundance does an auto-aim shot and it actually hits because the T-49 steered to the right. And it's just classic active light tank spotting on this map. Normally I'm pretty bad at this kind of spotting. I don't like just poking ridges and not doing anything. I like to actually use my gun. Yeah. And now this 1375 actually managed to hit a shot on the move as well. Nice shooting. And now Sundance is down to 71 HP health, and it's 4 versus a shit ton. So he actually pulls back behind his ridge, which is a smart thing to do. Shot goes not where it's aimed, unfortunately, but he's in a good position now, hull down, and he manages to do spotting damage. The guy got taken out before he actually took the shot. So now it's, yeah, we've got 1 scout versus 1 scout. So more favorable odds, but the problem is there's 3 people in the cap, so Sundance needs to actually do something. He's the only one that can actually do something, and this is quite amazing and special at the same time. So in the middle of the cap zone, surrounded by God knows how many tanks, casually spot kills one, puts a shot on the IS, uses this building to retreat, and there we go, cap reset. That was actually, I thought he's never going to survive this. I mean, he's never going to survive this, and he actually pulls it off. I mean, that's yeah, that's quite amazing. He's down to his last shot of regular ammo as well, as we can see, and he's got 20 premium shells left. The IS comes over. He's a bit mad, I guess, but the IS has shitty view range, so Sundance puts a really nice shot into the fuel tank or the engine, sets him on fire. Not bad. Not bad. Damage is starting to rank up. He's got 2.5k spotting damage and 1900 damage of his own. But still, it's still 5 versus 3, so it's not really favorable odds. And I didn't think he was actually still spotted here. But it seems like the SU is actually aiming in his direction, so he does a really nice juke, gets to the side of the SU, and here I probably would have reversed. But, I mean, this barely works out. He managed to take out the SU and goes back to our side of the map, basically. So, odds are looking slightly better now. I mean, a minute ago it was like 8 versus 3, so this is already a lot better. But now we've got this Leo here, still full health, so at least he can take a shot or two. Got a nice TD here who seems to be able to play. He's got 7 kills, so I mean, obviously that can be like 1,000 damage and 7 kills, but it's still taking 7 guns out of the game. So I mean, it's also important in this kind of situation. And here Sundance managed to spot 2 TDs, retreat back, doesn't get spotted, so risks a shot into the T-25-2, which connects. Blind shot kills him, and then he moves up again. So, yeah, let's see how it fares for the T-30. Is the T-30 stupid or isn't he? So Sundance moves up, uses these ridges to move around while staying safe from the T-30. And it seems like the T-30 is not actually stupid, because he's not poking the actual ridge where he was last spotted. So Sundance goes around, sees if he can find him. I mean, it's important to spot him, and he's trying to keep the maximum sort of spotting range. But then the T-30 turns up right in front of him, so he instantly ducks back to this side of the ridge, which is the good thing to do. That's what you want to do. Wiggles for the arty, because the enemy team obviously still has an arty, and Wargaming in their infinite wisdom decided to buff both the accuracy and the aim time of arty to make it fun for everyone else. So yeah, arty is even more capable of hitting even fast-moving light tanks in the latest patches, which for some reason in Wargaming's head was a good idea. It wasn't in the rest of the player base's idea, but hey, Wargaming doesn't care about that. They only care about money. So yeah, spotted the T-30, broke line of sight, and now is going somewhere else. They still have an S1? Yeah. An S1 TD that's somewhere here. So Sundance is just trying to, well, he was trying to go for RT, but now he decides to go for the T30. There's more racks here in the way. Managed to put a shot in, and here again I thought he's going to be dead, but it turns out T30 luckily is reloading, so that was a really lucky situation. Managed to duck behind the ridge again, and still the S1 isn't spotted yet, so where is that guy? Yeah, I mean, it either is the RT or the S1 in the cap circle. Sundance notices that the cap stops, so he instantly pulls back to this ridge. Managed to put a shot in and duck down. The Leo is finally doing something. Let's hope he actually starts using that HP. I would personally, in this situation, I would have waited slightly longer to aim and actually track the S1 here. And now the S1 is obviously aiming for Sundance, because who cares about Leo in his sight when there's someone to kill. Fortunately takes out the Leo. Sundance managed to put a shot in, but ducks back behind the ridge. The reload on that, I think the STRV is quite fast. And now he's going to actually duke this S1, so he's going to the right here. S1 is tracking him. He keeps going for a little while longer, and then he goes to the other side, uses the handbrake. The Waffle Panzer is actually holding out quite nicely on that side, which is good. Let's see if the Duke worked. And yep, that worked. So he actually managed to take out the S1 as well, and he sees that Waffle gets taken out by T30, so he aims. Shot completely vanishes. Nice work. So this one actually luckily hits and penetrates. The RT fired before we saw that. There was a splash in front of him, so actually he doesn't necessarily need to dodge here, but he still does. I mean, it's always good to keep doing that. So he put some distance between where he was last spotted and then goes back. The team already is congratulating him, but as he says, not yet. I mean, the RT can always shotgun him because, yeah, RT. So let's hope that he doesn't. So now we just have to find out where the RT is. And there's quite a lot of locations where he could be, since the whole of the enemy team basically had this complete flank. He could be on the hill, he could be here in the lake somewhere. I mean, there's a million locations where RT could be in this kind of matchmaking. If the RT player was good, he would actually relocate so he had the best shots on enemy tanks, meaning that he would probably be on the hill here or somewhere on the left, possibly even the A0 area. That would be a really good location to set up if your team actually takes this whole side of the map, because from that area you can easily shoot into the enemy base. So yeah, a smart RT player would be there, but let's see what this RT player is. Is he smart? Or is he just someone that doesn't use his tracks the whole match long, just sits in the same corner really close to the spawn, does an X amount of damage, die, and then think he played a good game? Let's see what kind of RT player this is. Of course, still in the base. Sundance manages to wedge himself between the map border and this RT, and now he's just pushing for life, basically denying this RT the chance to rotate, and takes him out. So yeah, that's a really close fight at the end. So let's take a look at the post results. So here's the results for that match of Sundance. As you can see, obviously an ace tanker. He also managed to get steel wall and the top gun, which is really nice. Managed to get 1515 base XP for 6 kills and nearly 5k damage. As you can see, the Waffenträger on his team also did a really good job. He might have received an ace tanker, I don't know, but they did about 9k. Yeah, close to 10k combined actually. So yeah, both of them basically carried their team to victory. Enemy team didn't do too bad. I mean, it's funny that a KV-3 actually does 2000 damage. But all in all, they did a really good job. And unfortunately though, since the T-54 lightweight is now a tier 9 tank, the credit income is even more shit. And Sundance at the end had to shoot quite a lot of premium ammo because he simply ran out of AP. So he didn't actually make a profit, but I guess for like a 14-minute fight and really good positioning at the end and juking the enemy a couple of times, yeah, it came out really well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the battle. I certainly did. If you feel like you like more of this content, always subscribe, and see you guys next time.